Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we're going to talk about the two most important joint mobility drills to do at the beginning of your workout. The joint that is probably least focused on in warm-up is the neck structure. Our neck is comprised of a bunch of little bones. All those little bones have little bits of movement, and they allow our neck to do all different types of movement, which is good because that's how we move our head, and that's what makes us essentially human, that ability to look around, move our head in all those weird ways. Or that's one of the things that makes us human. The neck is normally just basically fucking ignored in warm-up entirely. The only types of neck mobility that you see is like that kind of like 80s flash dance, pulling your head down and stretching your neck thing. Let's just go ahead and avoid that altogether. Dragging, putting weight on a cold muscle and trying to pull your head down. I don't know, that was a flash dance thing. It kind of got into like the cultural lexicon of America and people do it, and just don't do it anymore. What we are going to do is we are going to do actual neck mobility drills, and we're just going to start really simple. Instead of stretching with our hand and literally reaching over and dragging our face and our neck into some weird fucking position, let's just literally go back and forth and move our neck from side to side. First one that we do, we look left, we look right. We do, I'm going to say 5 to 10 on each side, right? And each time you're just going to move a little bit further. If you can't move further than that, do not reach up with your hand and shove your head over there. That's not helping. Next up, we are going to move our head. It looks like the flash dance one, but it is not the flash dance one. We are not dragging our head down, and we are not bringing our ear to our shoulder. That is creating some type of compression down here. What we would rather do instead is keep our neck really long, hinge from this area right under the ears, and we are going to make this side of our neck really long. We're not trying to drag our head down. Here, head up, tilt from side to side. Our goal with all of these exercises is to make our neck longer, not shorter. Next up, we are going to look up and look down. Once again, we are not going to grab with our hands and drag our head down. Not doing that. We're going to get taller. The side of our neck gets taller. Look up, close your teeth, right? And then look down. Do not bring your chin to your chest. Keep your neck long. Tilt your head down, making the back of your neck long, right? So, up, down, up, down. Next up, kind of the most important one for modern man, forward and back. Forward, cell phone position, right? We'd like to counteract that by taking our head all the way back as far as we can. Take your whole head, scoot it straight back. Forward, straight back. Forward, straight back. Forward, straight back. Because we live in the modern world, we spend so much time on our phones and our tablets, and we get stuck in this position. So at the beginning of the workout, we should mobilize, get our brain to find all of those muscles back there and just be like, hey, turn back on. Next up, we are going to do side to side. Call this one the Janet Jackson. If you were alive in the 90s, kind of understand why we call it the Janet Jackson. So our head is going to move laterally from side to side. So we're trying to get our head on one level. We're trying to get it to move in like a really creepy kind of like Addams Family fashion from side to side, side to side, side to side. Those are the basics of neck mobility that you should do at the beginning of your workout. Do 5 to 10 reps on each side. It shouldn't take that long once you've done them. It should take maybe a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes. What we're going to focus on next is our basic shoulder mobility drills, right? The ones that you always see are ones that are still not horrible. Rolling your shoulders forward and back. Very basic, right? Activate all these muscles up here. We're all on phones all the time. We always have our shoulders up and forward. So probably the important parts to focus on are rolling those shoulders back. After that, we are going to do the actual important part, mobilizing our shoulder joints in all of the directions that it can kind of move in. Our shoulder joint is the most mobile joint in our body, and it allows us to do lots of cool things that no other animals on the planet can really do. Because it has such a big range of motion, it allows us to throw balls, throw spears, throw punches. That combined with the rotation of our core allows us to create more force than our body weight would otherwise be able to generate. In modern training, we tend to limit that range of motion of our shoulder to overhead presses and bench presses. It gets a little bit better when we start doing kettlebells because we start doing a full natural rotating range of motion. So we need to warm up the shoulder joint in all the directions that it can move. Those directions being the same directions if you were to count the sides of a box. So how many sides does a box have? If you said 6, you were right. Has a top, a bottom, a left side, a right side, and a front and a back. If you want to get super technical, it has an inside and an outside, but that's like metaphysical. So we need to move our shoulder through all those ranges of movement. We need to draw a circle down, right? Bottom of the box, both directions, clockwise and counterclockwise, because your arm moves both directions in the real world. Same thing, the opposite of down is up. We draw nice big circles. And if you can hear my shoulder, I don't know if you can hear that, but it makes a lot of popping noises because I've done a lot of stuff in my life and everybody's joints are kind of beat up. Then we have left and right. This is the one you see all the time, right? This big old movement right here, backwards, and once again, forwards. The opposite of that is reaching our body across. So the way this is normally done in a warm-up is a bunch of people who don't give a fuck and don't understand it are holding their arms across their body like this and they are stretching. I don't know, it never works. Go ahead, take that arm, make that elbow straight, pack that shoulder down, draw a circle across your body one way, draw a circle across your body the other way. And the last ones that we have after up, down, left, right are front and back. So the front circle, nice and big. We like to call this one the air guitar. And go both ways. And then that back circle, done a couple of different ways. If you're doing it for pure mobility, the body doesn't move. In the beginning, I like to let people rotate their body very slightly so if they start moving their core in time with their shoulder, that backward circle. Those are the most important things that are kind of left out of a normal warm-up. We need to warm up our neck by moving it in all of its basic directions. We're not grabbing on it and pulling on it and holding it. We're not stretching it. We stretch after a workout. And then we are going to mobilize our shoulder in the 6 directions, up, down, left, right,